Hello my doves, welcome back to by Olympia. Today's video is going to be a bronzer review. We have the new Gucci Eclat Soleil bronzer in the shade number 5. This is the deepest shade. I'm not wearing it because, you know, no sneak peeks here. But if you want to see this bronzer demoed on my skin, as well as some Bougie bronzer brushes and some comparisons to other bronzers that are currently on the market, I suggest you keep watching.
Okay. Drop that. Yeah, feel the funk, y'all. Yeah, feel the funk, y'all. Yeah, you lay back in the cut. What's up?
Hello my doves. How are we? How's everyone doing? If you're new here, my name is Olympia. I do videos here on YouTube about beauty and makeup available in Australia for deeper skin tones. If you're not new here, well, welcome back. Today's video, we're gonna do it. It's a bronzer review. Y'all know how much I love a good bronzer. Bronzer is like my favorite part of makeup application. I have an extensive bronzer collection, which you guys will be seeing soon because I'm going to be decluttering bronzers. Yes, I'm going to be getting rid of bronzers. Who am I? I know. Let's just say when I filmed that video, I was all types of like, didn't want to let anything go. Alright, so this is the Gucci Eclat Soleil bronzing powder in the 5th shade. I don't know if I said that right. I probably completely butchered it, but you know, listen, that's how it is. Can I just say, Gucci, next level, okay, as far as I'm concerned. It came in a big old box and this Gucci bag that ties up at the back. It was all very bougie and extra. So I purchased this bronzer. Has it got the price on here? Nah. I'm pretty sure I purchased it for like 95 Australian dollars. It was free overnight express shipping. Gucci are extra like that. I'm not complaining. Comes in this box. Inside the box was this bag. And inside the bag is the bronzer. I'm going to start off by saying, like, the whole aesthetic of this, you're paying 95 Australian dollars. Best believe it, the experience better be up there, okay? Like, it is a luxury brand. There's no doubt about it. It's Gucci. I love this packaging. I like this more than the Charlotte Tilbury. And I love the Charlotte Tilbury packaging. I think it's bougie as heck. But Gucci have it hands down. Like, it is just gorgeous. Look at the pattern on that. The turquoise kind of almost Tiffany & Co. kind of blue, which I love that shade. Open up the clasp there. There is the bronzer. And it's got a little clasp there that you can, like a little tab that you can open it up, and then there is the brush. I don't think I'm going to use this brush. Feels really soft. I don't know what the brush is made out of, but it feels really nice. I don't know. Should I try and use it? I kind of don't want to. Yeah, let's keep it pristine and like not use that. Let's put it back in its little home. There's the bronzer. Okay, so this bronzer has 12 grams of product, or 0.42 ounces. That is tiny. 12 grams? Oh, that's not that bad. The Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer has 16 grams in comparison. So, but her pan is legit massive, so hand size comparisons there. Let's start off with swatching some of my favorite bronzers. So if you want to see that, actually before we get into that part, I haven't even said my spiel. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to, subscribe down below. Let's get into it. Well, we've already gotten into it, but let's get further into it. Alright, let's swatch this beauty. Alright. So she's on the top there. I'm going to go in with a second layer. Interesting. Okay, next we have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in the shade Deep 4. So, okay. So off the bat, comparing the two, the Gucci one is more red and lighter, and the Charlotte Tilbury one is more, it's deeper, but it's cooler, but it's still warm. So there's those two. Okay, so next we'll do the NARS. This is the Sun Wash Diffusing Bronzer in the shade Far Less. So Baked Gelée. So definitely lighter. I'm gonna do a second layer. Becca Sunlit Bronzer in the shade Maui Nights OG. I still have not run out of this bronzer. I'm getting fairly into it though. I used to use this bronzer like every day. It's probably like one of the reddest. This one's obviously, I would say that the Gucci one, like comparing it to these other formulas, is a satin because it's got a tiny bit of a sheen to it. Whereas these two are purely matte. And then obviously the Becca is also a satin, but it's way more radiant than the Gucci. So that's just by comparing those shades. The Benefit Hoola Bronzer in the shade Toasted. I'm getting like hard pan on this. I don't know if you can even call this a bronzer, honestly. It's more of like a contour. It's one of the darkest. It's darker than the Charlotte Tilbury and definitely darker, but not as red as the Gucci. So that's the Becca, no, that's Becca. This is the Benefit Hoola Toasted. Let's do the CoverGirl Full Spectrum. This is the Sculpt Bronzing Powder. Is this what it's called? Yeah, in the shade Ebony. So a bit more on the affordable side. I love this bronzer. This is a good one. So that's there. A little bit of shimmer to it as well. Okay, this one is another affordable one. This is the e.l.f. Aqua Bronzer in the shade Bronze Violet. It's like a gelée, like gel to powder formula. Dries down to a powder. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. And let's have a look at the Jouer. This is the Sunswept Bronzer Duo in Deep to Dark. So the deeper shade, which is Sun Gaze, that's this one here. That's the one I use more so. This one I kind of just use to like blend out the formula. So a bit more like brown. I don't know if you guys can see it there. And let's now do Morphe. Let's do a Morphe one. This is the Morphe Glamour Bronze in the shade Leader. So this is the one that I use the most. That suits me the most. Prime Beauty. I have to do Prime Beauty. This is the Bronzers in the shade Bronzeville. This one is the Kosas Baked Bronzer in the shade Deep. Love this bronzer. It's so red and vibrant. So that's this one here. Of course, Fenty Beauty Sunstalker in the shade Mocha Mummy. One of the reddest bronzers out there. Right at the bottom there. Alright, so from the top, we have the Gucci, how do I say it? Gucci Eclat Soleil bronzer in the shade number 5. Then we have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer in the shade number 4 Deep. Then we have the NARS Sun Washed bronzer Sun Washed diffusing bronzer in the shade Fallis. Then we have Becca Sunlit bronzer in the shade Maui Nights. Then we have the Benefit Hula bronzer in the shade Toasted. Just here is the CoverGirl Full Spectrum bronzer in the shade Ebony. Below that is the the Elf Aqua bronzer in the shade Bronze Violet. Then we have Jouer Sunswept Bronzer Duo, the deeper shade, which is called Sun Gaze. Then we have the Morphe, Glamour Bronze in the shade Leader. Then below that we have the Prime Beauty Brownsville. Then we have the Kosas in the shade Deep. And then we have the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker in the shade Mocha Mummy. Comparisons! Yes! Okay, we're gonna move on to the brush portion of this video. I'm gonna keep it bougie. Normally I give like, you know, a cheaper alternative, No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go into high-end Fude, both natural and then normal kind of synthetic brushes. So I'm gonna start off with my number 1 fave, the Marc Jacobs The Bronze Brush. This retails for $105 at Sephora.com or Sephora, you know, in store. This excellent round fluffy brush is particularly good for bronzer. I like it because it comes to a tapered point. I'm able to get a precise bronze as well as a soft diffuse bronze. This brush cannot come more recommended. So yeah, gives you both targeted and kind of sun swept and like diffused bronzers. So this is a good option. Another one which is a little bit cheaper is the It Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Airbrush Powder Bronzer. Love, love, love. This will give you a diffused bronzer application. This retails for 68 Australian dollars, available at Sephora. Cannot recommend this brush enough. It's so soft. It's phenomenal. It's such a good brush. On the more Fude and like really, really expensive high-end things, I've got the Sonia G. This is the Face Pro brush. I love this for bronzer. It is a goat dyed and undyed goat bristles. Retails for $75 US, available at Beautylish only. Awesome, awesome, awesome bronzer brush. I like it because of the angled. It can really kind of is quite intuitive in that it just hugs the cheeks and applies beautifully. It kind of, because it's got rounded edges like on the sides, the bristles tend to get shorter on the sides. It kind of basically like blends for you, so there's no harsh lines. Excellent, excellent, excellent option. This is probably the one I'm going to be using today. Another option for bronzer, this is the Sonia G Master Face, part of her Sky set. Once again, it is dyed and undyed Sakaho goat hair. It's got the rounded point. This is a more soft, diffuse type bronze application. This one here, you're going to get more targeted, but it will still look, you know, blended out and beautiful. I love this for bronzer. That's another option. And then, this retails for $75 US as well. from LUSH. And I suppose the only other one that I would recommend for bronzing would be the Inkey Pro. You guys would have seen me, actually no, that's a different video. I did use this in this eye look video under my eyes. It's great for targeted bronzing because it's comes to a point. This retails for $75 US as well, and it just kind of fits in right in there, blends it out beautifully. So that's another good option. Okay, that was really quick. I'm sorry if it feels like I'm rushing because I have work. I gotta get to work. All right, so let's go in with the Sonia G Face Pro, and let's finally test out this bronzer. I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit, and we're gonna really go to town. All right, so, ooh, picks up easy, no fallout. Wow. Not a lot comes off the actual brush itself. Okay. Are you guys ready? So this is a third layer, but only touching in lightly. Okay, so definitely, oh, smells so good. It's got fragrance. So if your skin doesn't do fragrance stuff, I would not recommend. But do you see the lift? Wait, let me just straighten up my face. Do you see just the wash of color right here? Let's get the hair out the way. So, no bronzer. With the bronzer. Ooh, I like her. Just ignore my edges. I did do them, they just didn't want to stay put. I don't know if I'm going too heavy-handed. A little bit. I have gone over the top a little bit here, but that's okay. Let's do the other side. It smells so good. I don't have any problem with fragrances. Like my skin can go through freaking nuclear war and still come out fine. Like I don't get chemical burns or chemical issues or anything like that. Oh, my edges are terrible, and this hair is totally growing out. I need to redo my braids. What color should I do next, guys? I'm thinking one of my subscribers suggested, or followers suggested, like a teal or like a purple, something like that. Oh, I like it. Like I like it a lot. Someone across my nose. I don't see this being a bronzer that I can generally use on my nose. It's probably too red for that. It's definitely warm. So I'm gonna use a different bronzer for my nose bronze or contour or whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna use the Jouer. I like to use the other shade, this one here, which is Sun Glow. On my nose. Still warm, but it's not. See how one side is done and not the other? But it's like I don't really have to work hard. Like it's not gonna get any darker than this. And I find that I'm not having to like blend it out or anything. I'll obviously blend it out so it's not like a harsh line, but like I just add a little definition to my nose. I don't change the shape of my nose, just adds that little something something. So that's that on that. What was I gonna do? Right, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, and then we can come back and have a discussion about the Gucci, how do I say it? Eclat Soleil bronzing powder in the shade number 5. I feel so fancy. Wow. Okay guys, I will see you in a moment. Alright guys, so I went ahead and finished the rest of my face. I did, what is it? Where is it? I put Dior. This is the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette in Universal. I put the shade Bronze and a little bit of the strobe shade Gold. My highlighted areas. And then I use on my cheeks, this is the Pat McGrath Labs Rose Decadence. I use the Peach Dusk shade here on my cheeks as blush. Alright, let's talk about this bronzer. Wow, it sounded really British then. So this Gucci bronzer, the Gucci Eclat Soleil bronzing powder in the shade number 5, which is the deepest shade available. Listen, okay, I have some things I need to say. Number 1, as much as I like this bronzer, it is a hell of expensive. I think my expectations were a little bit up here. I had to go in with Charlotte's. So I went in with Charlotte's to add some sculpt. Okay, listen, y'all know I like to sculpt with my bronzer. I like it to be, I like a bronzer to be able to kind of chisel and like slim and define my face. And if a bronzer can't do that, I don't know her. Who is she? But like in all seriousness, like this bronzer gives beautiful, beautiful warmth, but there's no depth to it. It's just not that, hasn't got that sauce. It didn't bring the sauce. It brought warmth and like prettiness and all that jazz. I found it hard to really go over the top with it. Like it looked like I was going over the top with it, but when I finished everything, it was like, it was fine. It was good. But there's no sauce. It doesn't bring that fire that say Charlotte Tilbury brings, because it's got that depth to it. There's no depth to it. That's my only kind of downside with this. If you are a lighter complexion to me, you may be able to get more depth from it because the shade is lighter. It's got the warmth. If you love doing a sun-drenched, sun-kissed, diffused, like, oh, I've been laying in the sun all day type of like bronzer, girl, go to town. Like this is the bronzer for you. Me, I need sauce, okay? I need fire. I need dimensions and angles on this round ass face. And I'm sorry, Gucci girl, but you did not bring it. It was not brought, okay? So yeah, I had to go in with Charlotte Tilbury. I went in with this brush, which I forgot to mention earlier in my Bougie brush recommendations. This is the Sonia G Worker Fan. And I just used this and I went in on the cheeks just to add that sauce. You know, y'all know what I'm saying? Comment down below if you know exactly, if I'm speaking your language, okay? Like, it just didn't bring the sauce. And I spent so much money on it. No, it's fine. Listen, if you have money to burn, which in this economy these days, that is not everybody, then I would probably give this one a pass. Am I gonna say that though? Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I said what I said. I would give this a pass. I was just like, it's fine. I have to try it for you guys because, you know, I know a lot of you use me as a reference in terms of whether you should purchase something, and you like to see it demoed on my particular skin tone. And yeah, that's basically what I have to say about it. Okay, so pros, I would say if you like a sun-washed Sun-Kiss soft application of bronzer, and you still kind of contour as well. This is a good base. Like, I would go down with this first, so you've got like the color there, and then go in and sculpt on top. That's my suggestion with this one. Cons, it doesn't have any depth to it. If you're darker than me, it will show up warm, but it's, like I said, it's not going to have any kind of depth to it. It's just kind of one-dimensional in that respect. I don't know. That's listen, that was my experience. I'ma just reiterate it to y'all. Yeah, so that brings me to the end of this video, guys. If you like this video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. Come on now, give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to, subscribe down below. And I will see you, my doves, on the next video. Take care, look after yourself, protect your mental health, you know, bat away, box away, whatever you need to do to get rid of negative people and negative situations. Don't do it to yourself. Life is too short. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Mwah! Mwah! Bye.